something spiritual. I'm born again every time you spend the night. 'Cause your sex takes me to paradise. Yeah, your sex takes me to paradise and it shows. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Yeah, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. You bring me to my knees, you make me testify. You can make a sinner change his ways. Open up your gates, 'cause I can't wait to see the light. And where there is where I wanna stay. 'Cause your sex takes me to paradise. Yeah, your sex takes me to paradise and it shows. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Yeah, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Can I just stay here, spend the rest of my days here? Can I just stay here, spend the rest of my days here? 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Yeah, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long, for too long. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh.
Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. When the morning comes and we see what we've become. In the cold light of day, we're a flame in the wind, not the fire that we begun. Every argument, every word we can't take back. 'Cause with all that has happened, I think that we both know the way that the story ends. Then only for a minute I want to change my mind, 'cause this just don't feel right to me. I wanna raise your spirits, I want to see you smile, but no, that means I'll have to leave. No, that means I'll have to leave. Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier. I want you to be happier. When the evening falls and I'm left there with my thoughts, and the image of you being with someone else, well, it's eating me up inside. But we ran our course, we pretended we're okay. Now if we jump together, at least we can swim far away from the wreck we made. Then only for a minute I want to change my mind, 'cause this just don't feel right to me. I wanna raise your spirits, I I want to see you smile, but no, that means I'll have to leave. No, that means I'll have to leave. Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier, I want you to be happier. So I'll go, I will go. So I'll go, I will go. Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier, I want you to be happier. Even though I might not like this, I think that you'll be happier, I want you to be happier. Then only for a minute, I want to change my mind, 'cause this just don't feel right to me. I wanna raise your spirits, I want to see you smile. No, that means I'll have to leave. No, that means I'll have to leave. Lately, I've been thinking, I want you to be happier, I want you to be happier. So I'll go, I will go.
I got this feeling inside my bones. It goes electric wavy when I turn it on. Off from my city, off from my home. We're flying up, no ceiling when we in our zone. I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop. And under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. Ooh, it's something magical. It's in the air, it's in my blood, it's rushing on. I don't need no reason, don't need control. I fly so high, no ceiling when I'm in my zone. 'Cause I got that sunshine in my pocket, got that good soul in my feet. I feel that hot blood in my body when it drops. Ooh, I can't take my eyes off of it, moving so phenomenally. You're more like the way we rock it, so don't stop, stop, stop. Under the lights when everything goes, nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When we move, well, you already know. So just imagine. Nothing I can see but you when you dance, dance, dance. Feel good, good creeping up on you. So just dance, dance, dance. Come on. All those things I shouldn't do, but you dance, dance, dance. And ain't nobody leaving soon, so keep dancing. I can't stop the feeling. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. So just dance, dance, dance. I can't stop the feeling. Yeah. So keep dancing.
Hello, hello. How are you guys?
Everybody,
Good morning. How's it going? You doing good?
Yeah.
Yay! Come on! Okay, you guys. So literally, we're literally. Well, you're actually dressed nice. I'm dressed like in my like sweats, and it's Saturday, and we're gonna be running around with some of our friends that have come to town, and we're like, you know what? Why don't we do an Ask Us Anything? So we've got about an hour. And you guys can just ask us any questions that you want around business, life, like anything that we can support you with to kind of close out your week strong or even set up your next week. So, Kurt, let's roll, Kurt. Kind of close out your week strong. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you perfectly. How are you?
Outstanding. Well, I'm better than I deserve, I like to say.
I like that. Beautiful. What's your question?
My question is, I'm just starting up a business, and it has to do with disaster readiness. And I have content, but I don't really have organized content.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out where I start with my lives or my recordings or whatever it might be. Do I start with what my purpose is, then give my experience in it, and then
No, because it's really about you and nobody. Like, imagine you guys if I led and I was like, let me tell you all about my purpose. You'd be like, I got other things to do today. Do you know what I mean? Because people are not interested in listening to us. Our son's coming up right now. They're not interested in, like, people are just not as interested in us as we'd like to think they are. Yeah, boo.
he's still wanting the upgrade.
He is still trying to.
I'm not upgrading this time. Next to you.
Ask us anything with Zach.
Hey, boo. I want to be here to just. Okay, listen.
Come with that.
Listen. We're gonna do some fun things today, and we're just gonna help them out for an hour. Okay. So you got two choices. An hour. So you can play your video game for a whole hour. How
That
cool is
sounds
that?
fun.
You got a choice.
Come with that. Let's go.
Fine.
Fine. Okay. So so a great thing to do is to get Post-its. You know what I mean? Like bigger Post-its, and write all the things that you've learned around, you know, the disaster. Is it disaster proofing? You know what I mean? Like all of the things to like keep us safe from disasters. Is that what it is?
Right.
Okay, so write them all down on Post-its. All the things that you feel that are going to keep us safe. Like here's how these are all the things that you need to think about. So that, and think about someone you love specifically, and think about like, well, if I'm talking to my sister, these are all the things that I would tell her, all the points I need to tell her to do to be safe. Put each idea on a Post-it, then put them all up on the wall. Right? Put them all up in the wall and start categorizing them. Right? And then once you have them all up in the wall, take a different color Post-it and literally write what are the steps to be able to create that result. So like, for instance, if there's an earthquake, right? You got an earthquake, your house. Well, like you need to talk about what's your family exit plan. What do you do in the midst of the earthquake? Like we have backpacks that are right outside our bedroom. I don't know if that's a safe place for them or not, but they're right outside our bedroom underneath this, like a cabinet. And then I have a pair of flip-flops in my dresser next to my bed right now. And so I have those things in case there's an earthquake in California, there's glass on the ground, I can put like, so do you get what I'm saying? So you'd put like earthquake and then all the different colored Post-its underneath it to make sure that I thought through these things to earthquake proof my house, right? Or my family, right? And then that becomes, you have a little thing there. That becomes your course. And so
Okay.
now to actually sell it, you want to go back through, I don't know, is Suzanne on with me? I'm not sure. I don't know who's on with me.
I'm here.
Do you, Suzanne, I know you were on vacation for some of the stuff we did in the challenge, but on our YouTube channel, there is last Saturday, so a week from today, last Saturday, there was a video I did on the, I'm wearing my light blue jean jacket. And I think it was a really good one around how to take the empathy model into selling a product. So
I saw
maybe
that.
pop it in the chat and put empathy model to selling a product and just pop that link in the chat and just let us know when you're going to pop it in there, Suzanne, so that we can just announce it and everybody can grab it because the chat moves. Cool. So that's what I'd recommend, Kurt. And that will be, you'll have it.
Okay, good. I've been involved in disaster relief for 25 years. So I see how unprepared people are. So that it's a real passion I've had.
I think it's so powerful. I love that you're doing that. I think it's so powerful. And I have one question for you, just a short question, because I know it's about everybody else. When an earthquake hits, are you supposed to like go in a doorway or stay in a bed or stay in a bathtub? I'm just curious.
You should stay in the heaviest framed part of the structure, which is usually the doorway, and actually closer to the wall if possible, because that's what all the pressure of your house is loaded on. So it's the strongest structure that's available. Yeah. And I also might suggest to change from flip-flops to some kind of slip-ons.
Slip-ons? Okay. Cool.
Yeah, flip-flops get hung up on stuff.
Yeah, so Kurt, that's actually great. So here's like you asked how to start a video. The way to start a video that's most effective is to start with the hook, not your introduction. So that would be a great hook, like slip on or slippers.
Or the reason why you don't want to be wearing flip-flops in an earthquake.
Yeah, three reasons three things you should do with an earthquake. Boom, that's like a perfect hook. It just gets people interested. Then you can introduce yourself later.
Okay, good point.
You don't want to wear flip-flops in an earthquake. That makes it interesting, and then give those details, and then you can slip in that little piece after you intro it and say, I've been in disaster proof for the last 30 years or 20 years or whatever, and I'm going to show you how to make sure that you and your family are safe in the case of an earthquake. Boom, boom, boom. Cool?
Outstanding. Thank you.
Cool.
Appreciate
you.
Shed, I just dropped the link in the chat.
Okay, do you guys see it? So it says, here's the link for last Saturday's, right? So this is, just so everybody's clear, this is the empathy model to sell and create a course from. There, it's okay. If I spelt it wrong, I spelt it wrong. All right, let's go. Next person. Question. Raise your hand or wave at me.
Hey, there we go.
Stephanie, let's roll. And then Vicky will go next, okay?
Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I enrolled last night, and I'm sorry if I bothered you with a DM, by the way.
Oh gosh, don't worry about it. I actually love getting DMs on Instagram. It's really neat hearing everybody's story and stuff like that. I love it. So it's sweet.
Thank you.
It just went up by 20%.
So my big question is, I think the best way to launch a program, I think, would be to live launch it, because then I can connect with my clients. I'm struggling with like a time, a day, how long to do it with, and I don't know what to do with it.
The reason why, everybody write this down that's struggling with this. The reason why money loves speed is because you just want to take action on something fast. And it's through learning what breaks down that you get wiser. Like Ash was coaching our son on practicing his karate this morning. And it's like, every time my son makes a mistake, our son makes a mistake, he gains wisdom and knows how to do it better. So it's not as much the tactic. And now, if you like live launching, because you notice what she said, you guys, she said, I feel like I can connect better. What she's actually saying is in her leadership,
It's comfortable.
She's stronger when she's able to lively connect with people in a live format. So I would say do that. You know what I mean? I would say do that, but it doesn't really matter if it's video or it's some people are stronger on video. Can edit their video. It's really a leadership thing. So I say go for it. And it doesn't matter if you're doing a 3-hour training, a 2-hour training, a 70-minute webinar, a 5-day or a 10-day or 7-day challenge. Everybody gets hooked up on the tactics. it's not really about the tactics. It's about you doing something frequently enough. And if you do it frequently enough, you will gain strength to be able to be really good at it. Good?
Yeah. You'll
Yes.
get the know-how through the experience.
Awesome. Go
Well,
after it, girl.
I'm into it.
You'll get the know-how through the experience.
Thank you.
You're not going to have the how before you get the experience. You always create it through the experience.
Awesome. Vicky.
So literally my son has just come into the room. So this is George, everyone.
Hi, George.
He's running late for his dinner because I've only got 15 minutes today. Firstly, Shanda, Ash, this week has been amazing. So thank you so much. My question is, when you're moving into a new kind of like field, so when you're starting out on your own, and you're going to start into like doing summits and workshops.
I borrow his one.
Yes, you can borrow that, darling. How do you know which endorsements to get? How do you know which people to invite to your summit? How do you find them?
Am I training you next week?
You are. I have no patience, and I know that's part of my leadership.
Well, I just want to, because I want to get to as many people as possible. And it's really the people who have your audience more than the people who like you just resonate with.
Yeah.
I mean, some of that will happen too, but it's like, think about it, you guys, if you were going to pay somebody to email their list, which you're not going to, right? You're not going to have to pay anybody to do anything.
Thank you, mommy.
But if you were going to pay somebody, do they have your audience? Do you know what I mean? Think of it through those lens, right? So like network marketing company has my audience. A coaching certification company has my audience. Somebody teaching course creation has my audience. Do you guys see what I'm saying? So you could start there and then, you go from there. A lot of times people get stuck on like, yeah, it's really that simple. But we're going to walk you through that over 3 days. And you're actually going to do it with us next week. So you're actually going to reach out to people and they're going to start coming back and saying yes. Yeah. Cool. Awesome, Vicky. Cool.
Awesome, Vicky. Yeah.
Kareen.
Hi, Shando.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm very happy to be speaking with you.
Happy
Sorry.
Happy to have you here. What's your question for us?
Yes. I'm not sure if this is appropriate for this forum. I did send an email. Yes. No, I went on your website on a live chat with, I think her name was Carlene. And because I wanted to have someone look at my business model to see what do I need, how can you help me, or what do I need? Because I'm not sure.
So the chat probably wouldn't be the best. Well, you could connect with someone. Did they connect you with a coach or strategist?
Well, she said she was going to do that.
Okay. So Suzanne, that's a great thing to add to the playbook. We're creating playbooks in our company right now. So I wish they would have gotten your phone number and information and connected you directly with a strategist coach. So I apologize that we're creating those systems inside of our company so it's consistent all the way through in our own leadership, right? So Kareen, Suzanne, could you send Kareen a message privately on Zoom here? Do you know how to find that, Kareen? She'll send you a private Zoom message that will only go to you. It'll say direct message on it. So you'll know it's just between you and Suzanne, and she'll get your information and we'll get you connected up with a coach. Well, let me ask you a question. Does anybody else have a situation like Kareen's where like you could really use some support talking to a coach about your business model? Just go in the chat and say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kareen, Suzanne will still message you directly, but okay. So do you guys, okay. So they're not going to be on this weekend because they have regular business hours. So they're not going to be working this weekend, but if we could drop a link for our coaching calendar. And again, I was not prepared to do this, so I don't know what it looks like. And I know we're going into our event and the coaches are going to be working on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But if there's spots available on Monday and Tuesday, just take it. Okay. So do you guys see that? hcbcoach.com. Do you guys see it? Do you guys see it in the chat? HCB. Okay. So grab that. Cream, do you see it?
HCB
Yes,
coach.
I'm seeing it.
Okay. So use that link. I would go do that right now because I just dropped it to everyone. And if you need that, oh, perfect. I just posted it too. If you need that, the chat moves and people lose it. And then just go ahead and do that. Cool?
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
Got it.
They'll be able to walk through your business model with you.
Yeah, I would
just tell them that's what you want to do.
Honestly, I would just click it right now and let the browser open up and start your booking now.
Yeah.
Because it'll fill up really fast. There's so many people.
Well, I don't even know how many we have. But if you get caught again, Kareen, then just email us at clientcare@hardcore business and say, I'd like to talk to a strategist coach to talk about my business model. Yeah. Cool?
Okay,
and then
thank you, Shanda.
Then have grace with us because they're going to be all in list power on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, Mia.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, happy Saturday. So thank you all for this. So my question to you is that when people come to me, they're asking me about, oh, you all are so sweet. They're asking me about business things. How do I do or how have I done certain things? But what I see is that the reality is that they're inspiring to do that, but their mind is not in that place where they can really do that. And that's really the hindrance. So with putting them first, they're asking about business. That's what they want. Like your leads, that's what people need and they want. What do you put in front of them to help them, but give them what they need?
It's a great, go ahead.
That you said it right there. Give them what they want, serve them with what they need.
Yeah, but like I think she's asking for so that's why we have leadership, right? Because it's so you're seeing the same thing we've seen. So trust that. And so you got to see what words they use with that, but part of it is about you educating them about what's really getting in the way, but you do have to give them what they want.
Yeah.
Because if you don't give people what they want, they won't invest.
Well, so they also feel they haven't been heard. And,
yeah.
And anytime in an enrollment process, if someone doesn't feel heard, if someone doesn't feel like you understand where they're at, what their needs are, where they're emotionally at, what their thought process is, if you're not connecting at that level, there's no way there is a movement towards what you see as a possibility. So people want to be heard and seen and know what they need, that you know what they need from you now. So I would extract that information, utilize that to draw, to connect.
I know, but what she's asking is, what should I offer before that?
Is that what you're asking?
So can you teach business? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So what is the thing that you need to teach them, either with the business, or you need to change? You can offer them as like a product. Like, so for instance, like a lot of times we sell our PACE program with our leadership program, right? Internally, we call it PACE 360. And the reason why we do that, and 70% of our enrollments are those two programs together. And you know why, you guys? Because almost everybody in our company has done leadership. And half of our internal clients that have been with us have done leadership. And so they know the value. It's not like I'm going to do this and then do that. Like they know that the security is in doing it together, right? They know that. And so now I don't have to talk to myself. What is that?
That was here. It's the alarm.
I was like, is our fire alarm's going to go off? I was like, so like you can sell it together because you believe it and you know it's the right package for them. So what is the mindset piece specifically that you need to help people with? What is that?
So that you can do it, because people usually come and the first thing they say is, oh, I don't want to work anymore. And I'm like, what? You do want to work anymore. Is that you're not happy where you are. You don't feel, you know that there's something more for you, but you're not sure of the steps to actually take that plunge.
You have a vision course you need to put. And we have something called vision too, but like for you, it's like actually vision. Like you need
like a vision workshop.
Yeah, you need to put some sort of a vision workshop, and that's probably your first product.
So that's what I'm doing.
Build that out and then sell that first, and then from there sell the next program.
Yeah, and I would say take that conversation you just gave, for example, and just look at it, what it looks like before, what it looks like after. You know, what's the emotions of where someone is stuck, and what's the emotions after? What does it look like? What does it look like after? And that's the language you're going to use in the training and also in attracting.
Okay.
What do you say? So is it's their pain moving to their vision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, yeah.
Awesome. The voice of the soul. Your name's not on there.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes, I'm Zeke Mangan, and my situation is if you look at my YouTube channel, I have so many things that I do. I would think a healer is first and foremost, and then I think the next I make commercials, I make comedy, and interested in. I'm a fourth semester psychology student. I have an art degree. And it's just such a variety of different things that I do. And then I really think that's my message is I can't be put in a box, and I think people shouldn't be put in a box. I think that's what makes people sick. They get a label put on them, they put a role put on them, whatever your role is. You know, you're a security guard, you're a cashier, you're the president.
That might be your product, period, is about that. But you need to have a flagship. Everybody write this down. You need to have a flagship product. So when people say like focus on one thing, I know it drives some people crazy, but like I'm actually saying the same thing. I'm just saying it differently so that you can hear it, because I've been practicing my leadership and landing this communication, because so many entrepreneurs like refuse to focus on one thing. So like I'm style flexing. This is what we call style flexing, right? And so if you all can grab onto a flagship product, that is really the thing that you do, that is like you get your highest success, you know, stories, people. It's like it's the main thing that you're committing, that for the next 10 years of my life, I'm going to deliver this flagship product, because there's enough people. Like, it's like our list building. You know, Zeke, it's like, how many people are in your email list right now?
Maybe 20, 30.
Okay, so that's a problem. So we're focused on messaging right now. And what we really need to be focusing on is your list, because you got to focus on your list first. Otherwise, finances just don't flow as easily, right? So people are like, I want to get in the flow.
I have 70 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I would like to get more.
I have more people than I could count that have come to me with nice, beautiful YouTube subscribers and have no money in the bank. Okay, so I want to put the email list first, right? And that's what we really want. You can keep doing your YouTube channel, but we got to get your email list built. And so now I want you to think, who's the group of people that I want to serve? Right? Who are the people like, and this is where I know it's hard to niche, but it's only because most of us, or many of us, have never been taught how to make a decision and trust that decision. And so we feel like if we have more options, this is why people say like, you know, that's how people will end up in nursing school that never wanted to be a nurse, because I'm going to have more options in life because I have a good paying job. Like we actually are trained to have more options, which is actually trained to be broke, right? You want to have more choices, but more choices come from actually like making some decisions fast and making those decisions right. Like just saying this is the right decision. So you have to, I believe that the safest way and a very prosperous way, and without having to have a lot of marketing training. Do you see how I hit all those pieces? That's why I choose the email list first, right? So we want to say, who's the tribe that you really want to work with?
I work with people like on Facebook. I'm in a lot of groups that like domestic abuse, people who are being abused in their relationship perhaps, and they reach out for help and I contact them. So that would be my decision right now. You can help me develop an email list with all the people who can use help, who in situations they need help, they're not getting it. I would build that email list and then give them help.
Have you ever seen a podcast before?
Yeah, I've actually been interviewed on a podcast. Yeah.
So some people don't know what podcasts are. That's why I bring it up, because I always ask. So if you could do a podcast, but not a podcast, like the same type of interviews, maybe, there's a lot of depth that I can go into this, because you can actually make a product this way. There's lots of very cool things that who jumped into our training that I'm training you in the list power training next week, go in the chat and say me. Just go in the chat and say me. So all these people are going to be trained by me next week, right? All these people are going to be trained by me next week, where I'm going to show them how to build email lists, right? And I'm going to show them how to interview people, but we're going to put the interviews as a product or a masterclass or a research project. We're going to label it. And they're going to do an interview series that people can't get unless they register on this front page, which is going to build their email list by referrals with no paid traffic. And they will build anywhere between 1,000, 2,000, some will do 10,000, 15,000 people on their email list. Okay, so these are real numbers. If you build an email list of, let's just say 2,000 people, which is very, very doable, that's $24,000 that you'd spend on Facebook ads to be able to build that list. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? If you build a list of 2,000 from what I teach you next week. Now, just for the sake of, you're not in that program with us. If you want to, we'll train you in sales for an entire year, and I'll train you next week for $700. So if you're interested in that, you can go to betrainedbyus.com, betrainedbyus.com. It's probably the most ridiculous offer I've ever made in my entire life, right? So betrainedbyus.com. So now what I'd recommend, thanks Fadi, what I'd recommend that you do is do an interview series, and everybody follow this coaching, okay? Do an interview series around after they're out of the abusive situation. Do you guys follow me here? Like Verna, you guys, right? Do an interview series where like helping these women rebuild their life after an abusive relationship. So the secret to getting back on your feet after an abusive or narcissistic relationship, so that you can build the life you finally want, right? And so we can do an interview series where you actually interview, and these would actually be quote unquote like your competitors, but they have your audience. People who have written books around these topics. They're on Amazon. You guys, people who are already in that course, you can start brainstorming some of this stuff before we get together, and you can build your confidence by looking on Amazon how many books have actually been written around these type of conversations. So for you, Zeke, people who have written books on, even rebuilding a blended family. Yeah. Right? Rebuilding your life after being married to a narcissist, right? How to be happy after how to heal from domestic abuse, right? There's all these books that have been written. And then if I was on Amazon, I'd start playing with different search words, right? We'll do this when you guys are being trained. You'll see all these outside the box areas to find your customer. And then we'll interview those people. And Zeke, when you interview those people, believe it or not, all these authors are going to mail their database, and it's going to come back through your registration page, and you're going to build a list. Now, once we do that, we can now have the conversation that you initially asked me. Because if we have that conversation now, it's confused, right? Because what we want to do after we build the list is we want to go survey that list and find out. You can take all the beautiful parts of you, Zeke, and we can blend them all into one flagship product. You guys see how that comes together? So then is one flagship product will stand for these people, and we will call it selling, enrolling, whatever you want to do. We'll lead these people in a way that they want to be led. Cool? Okay, I'm going to keep going. So I look forward to seeing you next week if you jump in. Okay, so Brenda. And then Marilyn will go to you after that.
Hi, Shanda. Hi, Ash.
Hi. Everybody get your energy up. It's Saturday. Let's go.
Okay, so I actually have a question. So I am in PACE, and I just got the surveys back and in my summit. So I just wanted to brainstorm with you a little about like my product. What I got back was more like work-life balance, career women who want to be able to not work as much. What I got was like self-love, them feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed.
Here's what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to recommend that you study my empathy model. Suzanne, can you jump this back in the chat? I want you to study my empathy model, and then trust yourself, because you're clear about what you're seeing in your survey, right? So you're clear on what you're seeing in your survey right now. These people want self-worth, they want love, basically confidence, all of that. But we don't really want to sell confidence. What we want to sell is the empowered life, right? So if you go through the empathy model and you look at your survey, and if you can walk around and rant the empathy model, like the problem you see with them. So when you let's do a quick scenario on this. What's the problem you see when you're reading this survey? What's the real problem you see that's happening with these women?
The real problem that I see is
and get your energy up.
Yeah. A lack of intimacy within themselves. Like they keep busy to achieve so they can feel like self-worth.
Yep.
So that
how many times is this hitting home for you when she's saying that, right? You're like, ooh, I might need to look at this, right? Go in the chat and say me. It's big. Like we women, people, busy energy is a fear of intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And you can retire and that busy energy will still be there because it's actually trauma, right? And so there you have a fear of going deep. And so instead of having to go deep, and also that now breaks down your problem solving, it breaks down everything, because you can't solve any problem without going intimate. So Brenda, that's kind of what you want to lead with. So when you study the empathy model again, right, I want you to walk around and go, the problem I see is that these women have a blind spot. They have an intimacy issue. And they think it's their self-worth, which, yeah, that's a part of it. But really, if they would learn how to become intimate, if they just did this and this to become intimate, it would break open their self-worth, because they'd realize that they're safe. They'd realize that they're good enough. They'd realize that they'd have this new ability to receive love into their life if they would just get intimate. So you guys, we're afraid to get intimate because if I tell you like what I'm really feeling or thinking, then you won't love me anymore. And so that conversation is easier to have in a fight, because then I never have to actually have that intimacy. Or if I don't have time for you, then I can blame you for everything. Do you know what I mean? And the lack of like, oh, he doesn't like strong women. No, I haven't even gotten intimate. Had any depth to it, really. But then they pride themselves on the fact that they're deep. So you need to get in that rant. So I kind of got in that rant a little bit because I believe you and I know you in the essence of what you're seeing is 100% accurate. So Brenda, you got to get your energy up. Okay. You got to get your energy up, because if you're going to lead, they need your power to be up front, right? They need your oomph, right? Because your intellect is leading right now.
Yeah.
You're on point. You're on point. So I think you trust yourself, but really trust yourself on this. You're on point. So now you have to develop your ability to lead with some more power. So I want you to, Suzanne, can you pop the last Saturday's YouTube video again? There, do you see it, Brenda? Do you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Pull
So
that. I want you to watch it, and I want you to
give them what they need. I feel like what they need is the intimacy part.
That's what I'm ranting.
Are they going to know that in terms of?
They are, yes, because that's a pattern interrupt. How many of you guys had a pattern interrupt when I shared with you that busy energy is actually a fear of intimacy? Right? Like that you didn't know that before. Say me, right? They didn't know that. That's a pattern. If you want to stand out, stop talking about self-worth. They already know.
Yeah, you got to talk to them in common language.
But they already know. You don't want to be sounding like every other person out there. I'm going to be, oh gosh, here's where I go really bold again. Every weight loss person tells me that there's so much more. And I'm like, stop being about yourself. Stop being about yourself. Your business isn't about you. It's about, if your client wants weight loss, give them weight loss, right? And get enough volume in there. If you want to develop another program off the back end of their product, great. But it's, your business is not about you. And, you know, people dealing with people in relationship or spirituality always go to the self-worth. Well, guess what? We all see the self-worth issues. We all see them. And everybody's talking about the obvious. You're coming in saying, hold on. like self-worth, yeah, it's there. But that's not the real problem. It's intimacy. And the truth is, Brenda, when you teach them how to be intimate, their self-worth goes up because their relationships get better. They realize they're safe.
Yeah.
They realize they can create something amazing. And now they go, oh, I am worthy. They don't need to spend 20 years in therapy.
Are you getting this, Brenda? Come on.
I'm getting it. Yes. I'm getting it.
Go focus on the empathy model. I want you to rant and I want you to trust yourself on what you see. Your intellect is on point.
Yeah.
Now I want you to.
Thank you so much, Shanda. Thank you, Ash.
Welcome. Take care.
Love you.
Love you too, honey. Awesome. Marilyn, we called you next.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I will jump right to it. So you are awesome. You are so awesome. I am so glad to be starting with you next week. And I'm in the college and career planning space for middle school to high school and even the first 2 years of college. And I blend as a parent, as a grandparent, as an educator, all of that together. So my question is, a typical membership is not something that will work because many of the parents, I deal with students of color. That is my passion and commitment. Students of color, often first generation, lower socioeconomic backgrounds. And so they won't be able to pay high ticket. I heard you say in this challenge that I can get my business making money so then I can feed the products that are closer to my heart. So I got that part. My question is, though, I can't do a typical membership. Excuse me, because the audience that I work with in my 23 years, I've seen they're not doing it 3 or 4 years ahead of time, right? They're coming thinking about college junior year or senior year. So the memberships would only be I'm thinking of 3 months or 12 months as the only two options to not have too many things out there.
Are you getting them grants? Is that what you're doing?
So no, I do the whole process from picking a college, knowing what things you're looking for, to planning college visits, doing virtual interactions and meetings with college representatives, presentation practice, and that's all before we get to college admission scholarships and all of that. So it's a holistic process that's not just about senior year applying to college.
I know this is a big industry, but it's not one that I'm crazy familiar with because I just applied to my colleges and went. So why do people, just bear with me for a second so I can find the hook here.
Sure.
Why do people hire you when they can just go apply themselves?
Several reasons. One is because I've been an educator, so I work with students. This is what I did to get success for students of color, low, so that's the groups that I mentioned, and they've been very successful getting an Ivy League or HBCUs or any college. 2, there's a shortage of counselors, and 8 million students have no access to a counselor, and those are usually the underserved schools in the high minority areas, and so they're not getting any counselor, let alone a counselor who is well-versed in current college practices and not using what they learned 20 years ago when they went to college.
I wish I would have met you. I didn't even dawn on me to go to a counselor. You know how I picked my college? I want to get into America, and I'm living in Canada and there's a cute boy at UNLV.
Not what we would recommend.
He's like the Pepperdine guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's like, he's like all about Pepperdine and like all of that type of stuff. I was like, dude, there's a cute guy in Las Vegas. I'm going.
I picked my whole major out of all the cute girls walking into the communications.
No way!
Yeah. I bet it turned into a great career. Yeah, I would say that's your hook right there is Ivy League school. That way
But
you're
I think,
really honed in.
are you looking for like, what's the package I sell?
Yeah, so I was looking at packages. The students that I work with are probably not going to Ivy League, nor would I recommend it, right? Because they'll be one of the few of color, and that's a whole nother thing with everything going on in the world, that they need to be at smaller schools more often and more successful around that community.
I'm going to say something, but my friend Prince EA, do you guys know Prince EA?
Yes, I've seen him on YouTube, yes.
A major force. We're in the same mastermind together. And he put out a video that I thought, gosh, this needs to be trained in school. And that talk about this should be trained in school. Like white, black, gray, whatever. Like, it's like so ridiculous because your color is your pigment of your skin is literally from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that until Prince put this out. Like, I didn't know that. I was like it's like we are the same human beings. Like, it's just like the pigment of the sun. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like,
it's our melanin. Yes.
Stupid conversation. I just wish they would train that in school so that we just don't have these conversations anymore. Because you and I are the same woman. You know
I agree. And that's one of the things that I'm seeking to look at is working with students who are in those categories, because so often when I've seen even counselors or college admission reps, they've been dismissive. They look at a student, they look at a student's name, what school they went to, the demographics of that school, and they self-determine as an adult, oh, well, you need to look at those schools, or you need to look at those tracks, or be a mechanic, or be a this, if that's your choice. But adults limit the options for students. So I want to break that open and say, let's talk about what you really want. Let's make a path to get there. I don't care if no one told you you can get there.
Let's do this. Why don't we? I love what you're doing, and it just makes me really angry that these things are happening. I wish I could be more vocal on platforms, because the fact that they censor us for everything. If we get too loud about anything, a lot of people don't realize that on our big platforms. Like, it's just constant censorship, you know, with anything, the freaking election, like anything. It's just like, shut your voice down. It's just awful. So why don't we do this? Suzanne, can you send Marilyn a message? Because I think this is a bigger conversation.
Okay.
Send Marilyn a message, and let's set up a call for Ash and Marilyn to jump on a call together, and then we'll start brainstorming and kind of develop a package that works. Does that work? I just feel like I need some more education around it to be able to give you time to rock it. And then
can I ask you?
We'll be able to build out the audience, which will be great.
Okay. And can I ask a general question that will benefit everybody? Okay. As a newly on my own, as an entrepreneur, not tied to anyone, because I wanted to do things my way. My question is, what would your now you tell your year 1 or 2 business you about the best lesson or something that you should have done then? Because I'm in the year 1 and 2. So I don't want to hit my head. I want to learn from you.
And I know I have a product around it, but I have a product around it because it was my lesson. I went the first year of my business, I went without any sort of email list. And I was like, at the end of the year, I made $2,000 profit. And I was like, I know that I'm smart. Like, I was like, you know, I did well in corporate America. I was like, I know that I'm smart. And I'm like, but for whatever reason, I worked entirely too hard for $2,000. Like, that's what my books looked like. I was like, how did I live? Like, that was $2,000 profit for the entire year. So basically, any money that came in, I spent it. So I didn't understand numbers really. So I didn't really see them. I was like, money came in, I spent it. Money came in, I spent it. And so I always had money coming in, not at the level I wanted, but with my expenses and my revenue, I made $2,000. I was like, what did I do in like the nightclub industry, the real estate industry? And I was like, oh my gosh, I worked off other people's email lists. Right. And I was like, that's the lever. That's the thing I need to push on to make the whole thing go up. If I push on this side of the teeter-totter, that side's going to go up.
Right.
So I did that, and I did a summit. I didn't know what a summit was. Nobody taught me how to do a summit. I did a summit, and then I met this girl in Laguna Beach who said, put a list minimum on it. I'm going to train you on that next week.
Great.
Right? Put a list minimum on it. And again, I'll explain all that, those details. And I was like, that was a game changer. And I took that and I built a list of about 3,500 people. Now, my first time, I was really scared interviewing. My interview was like this. Like the first 3 people looked at the top of my head. And so 3,500 people times, I'm paying currently, well, just so you know, I'm actually paying over this, but $12 a lead is a good number. That'd be $42,000 that I saved in spend. Just to give you an idea though, 3,500, what I paid for even this challenge, that's $105,000.
Wow.
For that list size. And that's what, you know, that's what I keep trying to say to people. Of course I market online, I do all those things, but I also have depths. I have depths on my credit card to be able to do that, right? I know my offer, I know how to lead. I know that, so the risk is really low for me versus when I first started, right? So this is why I don't push people to go learn Facebook ads and stuff like that. In fact, I lost a really great strategic partner because I said, I will not push our community to learn Facebook ads because of the fact that of that. So think,
right.
I know a couple people are asking about the club, so it's come up on the chat a bunch of times. So I will share something about that. But Marilyn, leads and sales. And after you get your leads, part of sales is learning how to communicate. And you're actually a great communicator. So I think your sales are going to be really nice. Get the leads going because you're strong. You have a strong force. You communicate, you articulate really well. So at some point,
Thank God.
might want to take. Well, actually, you have this with the. Did you jump in to the club or did you jump in?
Absolutely. I have the club and the list power. I bought them separately.
So then you have the thing I was just going to say, the copy club. So Yara gave the copy club, right? And so I was going to say list, sales, and then I was going to say if you could take a copy class in there, but notice the offer. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
I would say that it just works out. I forgot that we offered that for the copy. Cool.
All in. Thank you. Thank you, Ash. Thank you, Shanda. God bless you both. Yes. Okay.
Awesome. Suzanne, can you hook Marilyn up so that we can get her set up with Ash to really dig down deep on her package to sell? You guys, Ash wrote down the club on a piece of paper. I'm getting private messages about the club. So Glacia, some other people, I don't know if I said your name right, that have been asking us about the club. So on that link, you're going to see the club. So I guess people who don't know what we offered are like, what? I'm confused. So the club is where it's my sales team, my sales trainers who train our sales team are actually training you for an entire year for $700, 6 times a month in the club. If you need a payment plan, there's a payment plan there as well, right? So we currently charge very undercharged. We only opened this product up when COVID hit because I couldn't tell you to go hire a sales manager. Like Suzanne, Angela, you know, you guys, if I would have said, here's what I did, go hire this sales manager. Here's the ad to go find them. Here's how I interviewed them. I could have taught you in an info product, but the truth is that most people wouldn't have done it. So I was like, I can help entrepreneurs if I give them access to my training team. So Ash trains leadership on it at one point, like on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Thursdays is me.
Oh, Thursdays is you, Wednesday is Jim. So Jim does scripts, sales tactics, all that. Like he came in and in 5 days turned my sales team around. 5 days. Okay. So Ash does one day, Jim does the other. We do 6 days a month. The last week of the month, there is no trainings. It's flex week. Okay. With that, because leads and sales are critical, I'm going to teach you how to build a buyer's list of leads. So on that link, you have both of those things together. Got it? So if you're new and you didn't know we made this offer, it's really an unbelievable offer. It's like 92%, more than 92% off. I charge $5,000 for my workshop, $3,700 for home study. And during COVID, I've done some fire sales at $1,500 and things like that for our list building program to help people. So that's really the blanket of what it is. Cool? Awesome. Okay, next question. Namsa? Am I saying your name right?
Hi, Shanda, and hi, Ash.
Hi.
Welcome.
Nice. So I have a question. Probably everyone is scared of asking these questions. So I'm in year 2 of my matchmaking business. I've done the branding. I've done everything properly. I got a coach, but I'm struggling with sales and I've run out of money.
Okay, so I would say, I would honestly say that the best way we can serve you right now is maybe on, I mean, you got to get into stretch today and sell and get into the club. Do you know what I mean? Like you got to like, so I would say, did you watch the pipeline build training that Ash did in the challenge?
Yes, I did twice.
Did you? Good. I love it. So did you take the stretch and go try and sell?
Yes.
Okay. So what broke down in the enrollment process? So do you guys see where I'm going? I'm going to exactly where do I need to go to help her so that she can close that gap. So what broke down?
So I'm getting the clients, but I'm getting the clients that can't afford my service. So I need the right clients that can afford my service because I basically have worked really, really hard to do everything. Sometimes I do take clients and charge them less amount, but I seem to be going that way instead of charging.
Yeah, you're having a leadership breakdown in your sales.
Yeah.
Can I help?
Yeah. So you're having a couple of things I'm hearing is you're having a leadership breakdown in terms of one, value. So when they say I don't have the money or I can't afford this or it's not workable, it's not what you're offering. It's not who you are, and it's not them and their circumstances. All it is a value conversation, and value conversations are always inside out. The value starts with me seeing the value, and then others can see it, because it's going to require you to go to places that are naturally uncomfortable for you. So you've got to have a belief system around your value that allows you to stand really strong in what you're offering, because when you can serve someone and you see the possibility to serve them, you got to be able to ask yourself the question, if I serve them, can I get them to their vision? And if you could get someone to their vision, there's never a money conversation. So for example, if you were like, let's say working with me directly, and I know that I could get you to $1 million, and I'm going to ask you to invest $250,000, there is no way you're going to leave my site until I can take you to the place where you can see that possibility and you're willing to do whatever it takes to generate that. Because I know I can get you there. Are you hearing this? And so if I can save a marriage and I know that, and I'm talking to a couple and they're saying they can't afford it, I'm gonna say, your marriage is valued. At what level are you valuing your relationship? I'm gonna stand really strong to ensure you're gonna work with me so you can see that you can work.
Who's hearing this right now that needs to be hearing this? Right? Because there's a difference between pushy and there's a difference between standing.
That's right.
There's a really, really big difference between the two. One, it's like you're unapologetic inside you because you're actually focused on the end result that they're going to create. So pushy tries to convince.
And so let me just demonstrate where we go next. And this is the stuff that you would also learn in a club, by the way. This is some of the context that you'll learn in a club. And so listen, I'm happy. I would love to follow up with you to support you here. And I need a commitment from you on this. I'd love to follow up with you to support you, to create a commitment so you could generate the cash immediately and jump right in to what I believe is going to support you in generating the results. Are you committed?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to work on it.
Do you believe that?
Do you believe that?
Of course, I do believe it because I was watching, what's his name? And he was talking about the woman that he's been helping. And this woman, she does exactly what I do. So I believe that.
Well, and you guys, let me share something with you. I sent this to Gome, this morning. I was in our group last night, and this was in Pace, but Pace does the list build, right? So this person is like at the end of the list build, and I sent this to him because, like, you're talking about customers and clients. This is somebody getting their first that's their first payment off of the back of the list build. So they finished the list build, which I'm teaching a bunch of you guys next week, right? And they've already got a $5,000 customer and client. However, having the right people in front of you, if your leadership is low energy or you feel defeated, or do you guys hear what I'm saying? Then when you get on, you're already coming in leading defeat.
Yeah.
And like, I've had people come into our programs that have sold their car, have sold their earrings, have literally, like, one girl sold her watch. Another person was on food stamps. I don't know how many have been on food stamps. I just remember that one because I was like, really? Like, that's resourceful. You were on food stamps. And it's like, you know, that person, by the way, did 6 figures. They did $140,000 right after their list build. And then they couldn't freaking sell all year for the rest of the year. And they came to their mastermind at the end. This was in Pace, right? But Pace is still the list building program is pulled out of Pace, right? So they do that in Pace. But literally, she got to the end of the year, and she came, and Pace, they have a mastermind at the end of the year. And she gets there, and in the mastermind, she pops another, it was like $80,000 or $90,000, like in a week and a half after the mastermind.
Yeah.
Right? Just hooking into our leadership and getting that like, okay, you know what I mean? Because when you have that energy up, you got to run with that momentum. So your energy is feeling defeated, and we got to get you up, right? We got to get you so that people are not afraid to invest with you.
Yeah.
Because you guys, do you guys hear what I'm saying? Right? Can you go in the chat? If you like, even a picture and a video is worth 1,000 words, right? Like, is it Nomsa? Is that how you say it? Nomsa. Like, you are a beautiful, powerful woman.
Yeah.
Like I look at you and I'm like, you look like the type of woman that I'd be hanging out with, but your body language is saying I'm defeated. Do you get what I'm saying? Which, if you came to apply for to work with me, even as a team member, I wouldn't buy. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? And so we got to get this energy up back in you, because there you go.
Yeah,
do you see what I'm saying? Like, you got to pull this up. Because, do you guys hear what I'm saying? I'm not committed to being your friends. I'm committed to being your coach. That's my role right now. I'd love to be friends with some of you, but like, I really am committed to really giving great coaching. And like, even when you're on a phone, people can tell when you're smiling.
Yeah, they can feel it.
Like, they can tell when you're smiling.
And you know what's crazy? This is like proven by research now too, which is one of the things we're talking about. Actually, I'm not going to go into, but
yeah, super powerful.
It's really
okay,
powerful.
So are you guys connecting?
No, so let's connect. Let me support you in your enrollment conversation.
I thought I heard you. Volunteer you?
No. She's committed. So let's jump in a call. I'm going to support you, generate cash flow, and you get to, I have some recommendations for you. So let's
see. Here's what I believe.
Suzanne, let's get on the phone.
I believe you'll take action because you've been doing the challenge and you've been taking action.
And you're vested.
You need some tweaks here, but you got it. If all the tweaks in the world will not change your energy. So what's your favorite song on the entire planet? What song gets you fired up?
Amazing Grace.
Okay. So I want you to play it on repeat in your house.
Yeah.
Okay. Or on your cell phone or whatever.
Do it before you get on calls.
Yeah. Tony Robbins literally, I mean, I've only heard this. I don't know this for fact, but I believe what he does is have his team shift their energy before they get onto the next call. Like, he has a process with it because it's that important. He calls it state, right? Awesome. Okay. Suzanne's going to get you hooked up. All right, girl. All right, let's go. Okay, I want fired up person. See, my son's down there going, woo.
I'm gonna. Hi, bye everybody. I'm gonna let you jump.
What?
I will take care of Zach.
Oh, he's great.
Okay,
he's
good.
great,
Yeah,
honey. Suzanne, he's great. He's coming for more food. Suzanne, go for it.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for doing this. You guys surprised me with this extra one. So I'm courageously building myself up to raise my hand. So I have been doing a private coaching company where I have created a one-on-one course, but I'm come from a yoga background. And so I created an online yoga studio. So the majority of my work is a membership subscription based, $39 a month, which I was asking if my flagship offer needs to be a big ticket, because that would be cool if I could use that as my flagship. I have 5 other teachers that work with me, so we have a community. My hang up is that I want to have a bridge with the classes that are public and group to one-on-one coaching. So my company's called Village Well. So the village is like the group classes and the well is the one-on-one work, but I don't have the marketing. And I just have been so deflated and lack of confidence in the last year that I haven't done any marketing. I haven't talked to my community at all. So I have to just start, which I'm terrified about. I just have all these paralysis things, but how to, position, I guess, to where people who are paying such a low amount or who are even considering stepping into that would even consider going to a one-on-one, more focused group or private work.
Yeah. So, okay. So great question. So what I'm hearing is, what has you deflated? What has you deflated? Because that's, I think, an important thing too.
Well, I felt like I haven't had a lot of successes in a while because I've just been splintered. And so I want to do all these things. I also have a doTERRA business. And then so I just haven't been focused. And so therefore I haven't had any wins lately.
Leadership. Okay. So actually,
somebody's going to step into HCL.
Okay. So leadership, but okay. So aside from, let's just put that aside for a second. What's your list size?
I think I have about 600.
Okay. So the number one, for you to make your doTERRA business, to have your community membership even work, your list size got to grow massively. That's I would focus on your list, number one. So you're focusing on another offer. You already have two offers, and now you're focusing on another offer, which says, again, it's a leadership conversation. So instead of focusing on another offer, hone in on building up your list, elevating your list. In fact, you should have it once you go to the list intensive. Once you learn how to build a list.
Are you doing that with us, Suzanne?
I am a guest of Haley Hobson, so she told me that it was
great.
Yeah.
That's why we did that with Haley.
Yeah.
So
I would keep an ongoing. So once you learn the list, I would have an ongoing list building process, specifically in the topics you could serve them in. Okay. Specifically in these topics.
And it's amazing. We're going to teach this all to you next week. So you're good to go. But I love what you're saying, an ongoing list building process. But
and that means an ongoing summit series, or
we'll teach you how to do an evergreen one as well. Okay. And then your list will be building every single month. But we have so we have a client, Jackie, that was a coach who turned network marketer, who, because of her list build, and then we taught her a webinar, she qualified for the $1.5 million bonus at her network market, and she's the top of the game inside of her organization.
Within 1 year.
Yeah, within less than a year. We qualified her in, I think it was just under 5 months to hit that $1.5 million cash bonus. We could not have done it without her email list, right. And we could not have done it without her doing webinars. And it was interesting because we took products when they became a rep, right? I don't know what you guys call it, but every company calls it different. There's downlines okay in some companies, it's not okay in others.
They're
right?
Marketers in some companies.
And by the way, my family, I grew up, we owned a company that did network marketing, and now it's in Malaysia and it's a skincare line. And so I know the model really well. Mm-hmm. But we would sell her list. They'd come to a webinar for free, do a presentation, and then we'd make them an offer to become a rep. And when they became a rep, they got this additional training from her, right? Around, I think it was PR. I'm pretty sure it was around PR. She was teaching them how to get PR, right? And so she kind of flipped the model because she was selling PR, and all she ended up doing was she sold. It was actually, it's legal products in their network marketing company. So she sold legal products. And when they became a rep, she'd teach them how to get PR. But that's about focusing on the audience. She focused on an audience that would want that product. And then she gave them a bonus when they became a rep. That was a product that they wanted. And so then we have another client who was basically helping moms build their business around nap time. And she did a webinar too, which is just a virtual event, a presentation. And she invited them, she showed them how she was using the oils on her kids. And then she said, and I make some good money with this. And it's not even the thing that I'm doing. And literally she converted a bunch of reps for her network marketing company. And she didn't even want to run it. She was like, I don't want to run this thing. So I need to go find somebody to run it because I can keep bringing in reps every single month, but I don't want to run it. So it's just so cool, the options, but without the list, you got a challenge, right? Got it? Okay.
Thank
so
you.
Guys, do not, Richard, people like that, don't promote in the chat, guys. Okay. That's just, it doesn't work for us. Okay. We keep a clean space. Okay. You good, Suzanne?
Yeah, I guess the one thing that I keep getting stuck on, because I know I'm going to do this power and or this group, this build.
Hold on a second. I know you asked a specific question. Let me give you that tip. So you can actually package, Botera and, your one-on-one as a package deal. And I wouldn't make it anything less than $3,000 for the year, because that generates the cash and you can then fuel growth from that cash flow. So I would package the Botera with the one-on-one that you offer.
Yeah.
One thing, $297 a month, $3,000 package, 10-month package, 2 months you take off, and then create a secondary offer off of that. And that offer could become a rep and da-da-da-da. So does that support you?
It does. My main thing is the yoga, and I just thrive in giving people an experience in their body.
That's amazing, Suzanne. Yoga and oils go hand in hand.
Yeah.
We need to do a list build around people who love
healthy lifestyle.
But yeah, but it's more than that. We're not going to do a list build around yoga. We're going to do a list build around natural living, around detoxing your home, around
healthy habits,
peace, like creating peace in your life, things like that. And once we go through the entire thing, it'll be awesome. Cool?
Yeah. Thank you guys. Look forward to next week.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And then we're just going to do a couple more. ILYN.
Hi, Shanda. Hi, Ash.
Hi.
Yeah. First, before my questions, let me be very quick. I keep on coming back to you guys. I was with you like a few years ago at Carlsbad, and then I balked out of Ash because he was off. He told me that I was missing on leadership, and I was like, "What? I've been a leader all my life." Well, anyway, I am back. You are God's, answer to my prayer. So I'm preparing a summit. I jumped on the club just a few days ago. I'm preparing a global summit, and I'm hooking in my friends.
What's your question? What's your question for us?
My question is if I'm on the right track, because I'm doing my list build, and my plan is to have a summit last week of May. And then, but my strategy is a sign up challenge more than the revenue one, because I want to sign up people to my product, which is on health. And this is on eczema and water. And I just want to know if I'm on the right track.
Well, what do you want do you have a vision for the end product that you want to sell?
Well, my vision is I want to tie up it into the original passion project that I had with Ash before, to start a movement on self-care. Like my thought exactly is that you cannot give what you do not have. So you have to love yourself, and that encompasses health and around that stuff. So, but I don't have a strong list.
I would recommend with the club, you've got list power again. So I recommend next week. And we might want to look at doing, I'm going to teach this to you, but 3 one-day summits.
Yeah, okay.
To that, 3 one-day summits, and we'll train that more next week. And then like, you know, there, like even doing called a 3-day event, but it's 3 1-days put together so that you're just building a massive list over 3 days. Think of it like a conference. Let's call it a conference, a virtual conference.
Okay.
Okay. And you guys see how that shifts the energy, right? So it's like, so now think about what are the virtual conferences that people go to? You don't want like love and peace the world. Do you know what I mean? You want like Ash did a 3-day where they did the global
mindset forum.
The global mindset forum, and the vision behind it was literally bringing leaders together to help people on a global scale be able to walk through the depression that
COVID-19 and depression.
COVID, depression, like not depression mentally, but depression in the economy. Right. And that these guys had already done it and thrived and they brought it together. So yours is around really like stimulating this passion project, but like even if the 3-day was around passion.
Okay.
And you guys who got Barry's gift on the challenge, right? So you guys who were on the challenge, and we made an offer that you got Barry's workshop, and then we also threw it into the club here. So actually you'll have it as well. When she teaches Program at a Glance, she'll teach there's 3 buckets in a 3-day. I would apply that to your summit. And so your first bucket, right? Your first bucket is really around setting the context in the mind. Your second bucket needs to be more tangible. So like for me, I might do mindset, money, like reoccurring income or future vision, right? So you want to go mind first, then you want something really tangible. Right? Taking action on something, the second. So imagine interviewing, the first one's like all feel good and getting people primed to even accept passion in their life. Yeah. The second day is really about how to create that passion. Everybody you interview and everybody you ask questions on, it's how to, right? And the third one is what's next, right? And throughout all 3 days, and I'll teach this to you next week, throughout all 3 days, I want you to make offers. You guys, I want everybody to get into the mode of making offers. Okay, like offers are not a bad thing. They're a great thing. In fact, you guys who jumped into the club, here's the next 8 weeks that we're going to be training to not sell, to serve, which is what we're talking about right now. We're going to teach you script structure. We're going to teach you connection, how to connect as currency. We're going to teach you conversations, the conversation construction, how to construct the conversation. So there's the script and how to construct the conversation. We're going to teach you pain analysis. We're going to teach you vision build out. We're going to teach you commitment to now. That's how do you actually bring urgency in as you're leading people. We're going to teach you value reveal and offer reveal. How do you reveal the offer so it doesn't feel weird? But how do you also reveal the value? Because who gets money objections when you go to make an offer? Who gets money objections, or they scare you, right? So that's the value reveal. So when you can reveal the value properly when you're speaking to someone, then you don't have the same money issues. You get what I'm saying? You just don't. People will figure it out. They will figure it out. They really will, because they see the value, the human spirit. When I was letting my homes go into foreclosure, I'd never borrowed money in my life. I'd never been that resourceful, but I knew the value of investing in the product. That it was a real estate product. I didn't even want to do real estate, but I was literally found myself at this event. I wanted to make money, but I didn't want to do real estate. When you can value reveal properly, this is what this trainer did for me. It was a $21,000 package. I found the money to pay for it, and there was no follow-up sequence. You know how we're like closing down the cart to the club right now? We're like last 24 hours, last 10 hours. There was none of that follow-up to help me like go, do I want this? You know what I'm saying? Like there was none of that. It was at this event I had to buy, or the offer went away. And I found the money because the value reveal, right? The human spirit will figure it out when they can see the value. When you cannot articulate the value right, then they have to carry the weight so much harder to figure it out. I read in scripture this morning how there's a scripture in Corinthians that says, taking a thought capture so that it's obedient to, I'm into Jesus, right? So it's obedient to Jesus or God, however you want to call it, right? So it's like, so how do you take a thought capture? And it was a prayer in Corinthians and you speak it and you command it and it grabs the thought and it makes your thoughts obey, God. And you think the first thought you might have is the negative thoughts. No, it's the creative thoughts, right? We have access to the creative thoughts to create exactly what we want. Exactly, you can go grab it. Exactly what we want. You guys say bye to Ash. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Look, guys, I got an MVP.
Woo! Most valuable player. So you want to grab these thoughts and make them. Hold on. You want to be able to grab these thoughts when any of us get stuck. We want to be able to grab these thoughts because these thoughts take us past the problem. So when you're leading, you can actually change the atmosphere. It's actually prophetic speaking. When you know how to do that, you can change the atmosphere. But when you change the atmosphere, people open up. And then biblically, we know that angels come down and minister to people's hearts. But people that don't understand biblically, all they know is that something happened and they figured it out, right? They have a revelation because they don't know what happened, right? So we're going to teach you the value reveal. CTAs, calls to actions, resistance, follow-up sequences. We put our team, these are the things we teach our team too. Like we put our team on a stretch where we bring in a lot of quote unquote leads, right? For making it sound really mechanical. We were like, we want to see you for our team. We wanted to see them strengthen a follow-up series. And they beat the quote unquote leads on the front end last month. And at 58% of the enrollments came from follow-up. Wouldn't you like that? Right? That would make your leads wouldn't have to be as many if you understood the follow-up better. Right? So that the same things we're strengthening in our team, we're strengthening in you in the club over the course of the next year. So anyway, so those are over the next 8 weeks. That's I just asked for the curriculum that's being taught over the next 8 weeks, and that's what's being taught over the next 8 weeks in the club. Cool. So if you guys are not in, go to Be Trained by Us and let us train you. And for you, my darling, you're going to get Barry's workshop as well, with the fact that you purchased this when you did. And so she's going to train you on those buckets as well. But I gave you a good outline. Cool.
Thank you, Shanda. Thank you. God bless you.
You're welcome. All right, you guys, I'm gonna bring it down to a completion so that I can go spend some time with my family. My son's come up a bunch of times and I'm starving. I need to go eat. I need to break my intermittent fasting and go eat. So any popcorn questions about the club that I can answer before I jump off? If anybody has any very specific questions, just go like this. If you have any very, very specific questions that I can answer. And Joan. And then Tressa. Joan and then Tressa. And you guys can take it off the live stream if you want. Go ahead, Joan.